organic openings.
Are we doing one now?
No, we're not doing one now.
Just start doing one now. To call an organic
Because
opening.
then you're going to start talking about the draft pick, and I don't want to hear the draft
Holy
pick.
shit, start the show.
I was just kidding. This has been an organic opening.
Oh my God, I'm going to kill myself on the air.
I'm so confused.
Is the show going now, Jay? Or are you going to make this
Yes, the show is going. An organic opening, Bri, is when we just start talking and the show begins at some point, and nobody knows.
I get that.
I thought it made...
I'm just trying to figure out if it is or if it isn't.
Mark doesn't like organic openings, and I don't know why.
I just thought organic opening meant you don't spray us with pesticides like you normally do. Then it's not.
Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey everybody, it's episode 272 of the Brink of Sanity Comedy Podcast. I am Jay. With me is Marc and Bri.
So is this the beginning of the show, or did we already start the show prior to the song?
We started the show prior to the song. This is the continuation of the show. Although you're going to bring it to a grinding halt in about 30 seconds, so I don't even know if we should get into anything.
I'm a big fan of Sons of Anarchy, which, Steven, thank you for the recommendation of Sons of Anarchy. I love the show. I'm on season 6 of the show. And they always do in their show, the show starts, and 10 minutes into the episode, they do the opening credits, which I always find weird is how far they go into the show before they do the opening credits.
I like that. Justified does that, too.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's
Fargo
an FX
does
thing.
that too, if you watch Fargo.
I can never watch a show with you, Mark, though, because in the time I've watched one episode of Justified, you've watched 5.5 seasons of Sons of Anarchy.
Well, I take the train every day, and I have an hour to kill in the morning, an hour to kill in the afternoon, so I watch a lot of TV.
Oh, you don't do CPA questions on the way to work?
I used to, but then I became a video editor instead.
You made the correct choice.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you can go back to. I went to it on the subway though. On the subway, I don't think I'd be watching all the shows, but on the train, you're sitting down, it's pretty easy.
Right.
But I recommend Sons of Anarchy really highly for your next show. It's basically Sopranos on bikes.
All right.
It's kind of the best thing about the show. My favorite part of the whole show, and Steven, if you're listening, you have these bikers who I'm not going to give anything away from the show, but they're in this motorcycle gang, and they're all badasses. They deal guns. Wait, the Jets are going to pick. Hang on, let me see if the Jets are going to pick. I'll come back.
They pick the safety.
They pick the safety. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't know. Do I hate that pick, Bri? How do I feel?
See, this is why I wanted to start the
I don't
show
watch
5
college
minutes
football,
later.
so
I watch jack shit for college football. I kind of hate college football for the
I don't like college
exploitation of
football
players.
Couldn't even make it 3 minutes into the show.
Yeah, no, you couldn't make it 3 minutes into the show. But yeah, whatever. A safety, they could use a safety.
This is why I drink whiskey during
was
the
this
show.
whole thing about Sons of Anarchy just a setup so that you could go right into the draft?
He was just stalling. Nobody cares about Sons of Anarchy. He was just stalling.
Yeah,
It's a really good show. It's not an amazing show, but it's a very enjoyable show. Very entertaining, like Justified.
Definitely podcast worthy to say a show is decent, not amazing.
It is though. It's probably I put it in my. It's towards the end of my top 10. I would say though it's on par, as good as Justified, which is saying a lot.
Okay.
Right. Would you say saying a show is on par with Justified is a pretty good statement?
Yeah, I'd be interested in watching a show that was on par as Justified, and I can't possibly fathom that Sons of Anarchy is on that level.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's not.
But that's me.
Check it out. It's pretty entertaining. I mean, you have to kind of go with the fact that a lot of people get killed and no one seems to investigate, and some crazy stuff happens. But it's done pretty well. But here's the best part of the show. The best part of the show is so when you're in the Sons of Anarchy, they have leather jackets with patches on them, and if you get in, you put a patch on. So these guys are badass bikers, and they're all really good at sewing. They get these patches. No one has any issue with sewing. Everyone's just it's they get their patch. Oh, no problem. I'll put my patch on. I'm amazed how good these bikers are at sewing.
Do they show them putting the patch on?
Once in a while they do, very rarely. But it's just they get the patch. You think they'd be like, oh, I'll get this sewed at the store, or I'll have the one person here that knows how to sew. If they get the patch and they're like, okay, I'll put it on. The guy that gets the presidential patch sews it on, no issue.
I guess it wouldn't be interesting for the show if he brought it home to his mom.
Yeah, well, his mom, the main guy, his mom is a big character on the show, Katie Seagal from Married with Children. But
Oh yeah.
but it would just be like some of the guys are like, you get into the Sons of Anarchy and you get a big patch saying you're in Sons of Anarchy, and you never hear them go. You never see them come back later on, be like with like just a terrible like sewing job, and they're like, God damn it, like you're in the Sons of Anarchy and you can't sew.
I'm up to the Michael Rappaport season of Justified, so I asked him to be on the podcast. I haven't heard back yet, so he's probably trying to clear up his schedule.
Okay.
What podcast?
This one.
I asked Justin Timberlake to be on our show, and hopefully we can schedule them back to back for the best episode.
Did you ask?
Justin Timberlake. He's going to come on the show. He already got back to me.
We should just start asking. I mean, I already asked Turtle and Michael Rappaport. We should just keep asking.
I'm
It's amazing how everybody does a fucking podcast. I was listening to like every fucking comedian has a podcast now. I was listening to an interview with Alec Baldwin. He has a podcast now.
Well, we're impossible to find now because, we started when there wasn't a lot of podcast. Everyone has. I asked Turtle and Michael Rappaport, but they already have their own podcasts.
Yeah, everyone has their own podcast. It's Bill O'Reilly got fired from Fox News. Within 12 minutes, he had his own podcast.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you have a following, I guess there's a lot of money in it. I tried listening to Bill Simmons' podcast. He has an ad every 5 minutes.
You know what? I'm coming around to his podcast. Someone keeps recommending it on our Knicks page. I've been listening to it lately. It's not bad. I mean, I've listened to him in the past, but now I've been listening a little more regularly.
He's only good if his guest is good.
Well, yes, I agree.
He'll do an entire podcast where he picks spreads on football games, and it's unlistenable.
Who was that?
Bill Simmons.
Oh, Bill Simmons. Yeah, he's tough to take at times. I like it, but he's tough to take.
Did you hear when they were laying people off at ESPN? They were like, Bill Simmons, you don't even work here, but you're fired again. No, but it depends on what he's talking about. If he's talking about a topic you're interested in, it can be really good. But obviously, if he's doing like the spreads or something like you're not interested in, it's not as good.
Or he'll do like an entire episode just talking about the Kardashians or something. Like he's into some lame shit.
No, but if he does like he's talking about the playoffs, like an NBA playoffs, it's usually a pretty interesting show.
Yeah.
Jay, so I have a big question for you.
Okay.
Today's a big day in your world, right?
Okay, I'll go with it.
Isn't it a huge day? You're not excited? I mean, you are into tax. You want to be an accountant. I assume you want to be an accountant as you're taking the CPA exams. Donald Trump made his tax proposals, and I figure we can spend the rest of the show you telling us what you think of Donald Trump's tax proposal.
That's an interesting idea.
Or we could not.
Yeah.
No, Jay, I wanted to get your take. What is your take on the tax proposal?
I wasn't as scathing as the New York Times.
What did the New York Times say, Jay?
Well, they said they basically said he was just giving money to the rich because he proposed a 20% tax cut on corporations. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because our corporate tax rate is so high, everyone puts all their money overseas and we never see it. So 15% of billions is better than 0% of nothing.
Why, if they're not paying taxes on this money, why would they want to pay 15% versus paying 0?
Because, all right, say like Amazon, they have 90% of their money overseas, but the money.
Well, how do they have 90% of their money overseas if they make all their money here?
They open up like a shell company that has like one person in it, and they say 90% of our revenue comes from this department.
Should that be illegal?
It should, but it's not.
I hear how they do it is they'll put their IP, their intellectual property. They're like, oh, the Amazon logo's in Scotland, and we have to pay Scotland $18 billion to that subsidiary to get Amazon logo.
Yeah, they all do stuff like that. The thing is, once the money is overseas, it can't come back into the United States, or else they get taxed at, I think it's 37%.
Why don't they just make that policy of letting the companies take the money out of the country in the first place illegal?
But they're not taking the money out of it.
Well, no, just say you can't have a shell corporation in some other jurisdiction and pretend that you're paying money to them. The money's earned here, you pay the taxes here.
Well, with the internet, it's hard to tell where it's earned.
I think they could do something about this.
Well,
Jay, I thought I had some hope from talking to you. So far I've gone from you that Donald Trump has some good ideas, and now you're a supporter. God damn it, Jay.
It's not a bad idea because say you lower the tax to 15%, Amazon puts all the money back into the United States.
Do they? I don't know. Doesn't like a lot of these companies pay no taxes to begin with? Like, didn't they say like General Electric or didn't pay taxes for like 10 years in a row?
Well, that's because of loopholes. I mean, they would probably do that in the United States again because I doubt Trump is taking away any of the loopholes. I doubt that.
Why don't you take away the loopholes and get the companies that are paying 0% to at least pay 15%?
Well, that would be nice. If you lowered it to 15% and got rid of the loopholes, that would be the ideal plan. But he's probably lowering it to 15% and keeping the loopholes, which is giving money to the rich people.
What about my taxes? How are my taxes going to be screwed up, Jay? Should I like Donald Trump's plan or should I hate his plan?
I heard he's going to increase your exception.
My exception?
Your deduction, your standard deduction.
Oh, okay.
So that's good for you.
Okay.
If you itemize, you're screwed. He's screwing people who itemize.
I heard he's screwing anyone that deducts state and local taxes on their taxes.
All right. That was tax talk.
So, Steven, on any related topic, Steven sent me some messages about taxes. I think see if you guys can interpret what Steven's saying. He said, "Fuck your fat Jewish face, you stupid faggot. Piece of shit. No offense. Eat shit. Hockey sucks. Go fuck yourself. Wow, you look fatter than usual." That was a haiku by Steven.
I think that means he's upset about the new tax brackets.
Yes, that seems. I think that's solely a message about how he feels about the border tax that Trump is proposing in between Mexico and the U.S. Do you guys want to play Would You Rather?
Sure.
Sure.
All right, what's new with you, dude?
Oh, not much. Same old.
Okay, cool. I got a couple of Would You Rathers. Someone requested them. I actually wrote some Would You Rathers, and then I saw somewhere someone requested them, and I was like, wow, we're like me and the listener are like on the same wavelength. Okay.
Almost like you're the same account.
Yeah, probably. It's probably just me. Okay, so would you rather? Here's the situations. You take out $100 from the ATM, and you're with a bunch of coworkers. You walk by a homeless veteran asking for money. Would you rather give him the full $100, or would you rather say extremely loudly in front of your coworkers, "Get a fucking job, you loser"? You have to do one or the other. Either tell him to go get a fucking job, you loser, or give him the full $100. This is in front of your coworkers.
Get a job, you fucking loser.
Yeah, I think get a job, you loser.
Because that's what my coworkers would expect me to do.
No hesitation, either one?
No.
Jay? You want to know the guy at work that told the homeless guy to go get a fucking job?
Yeah, but it's $100, man. That's like almost one Tom Petty ticket.
Yeah. Jay's going to pay $130 to go see Tom Petty.
Alone on my birthday.
What'd you say?
Alone on my birthday.
Cool. Why don't you just buy his best of? This is a concert. Just buy his best of, blast it, and have your neighbors hate you for once. Okay. Second thing. I'm trying to do some different Would You Rathers. The second one. At work, with a lot more work ones. Would you rather after doing your Okay, so would you rather after you do a favor for a coworker, like making copies for them, point to your cheek and say, "What do I get for that?" Or you see a coworker throughout the remainder of their mostly eaten lunch, take that lunch out of the garbage in front of them, start eating it, and say, "I guess you don't give a shit about starving people in Africa."
I'll take the kiss.
I'm going to go with the kiss.
So you're going to say to coworkers, like, "What do I get?"
Yeah.
Okay. And you have to let them kiss you.
I don't think that's going to be a problem because I don't think they're going to kiss me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I'm going to get a job at your office. Okay, would you rather go up to an older married coworker, this is again the work edition, and say, "I don't want this to be awkward, but does your wife have any old panties she does not need anymore?" Or would you rather send out a fully nude picture of yourself, frontal view, on Twitter, using the Knicks Twitter, as sending the picture out on the Brink Twitter would be almost like deleting it? So either you send out a full frontal naked picture of yourself, you or Bri, to everyone on the Knicks Twitter, or you say, I don't want this to be awkward, but does your wife have any old panties she does not need anymore?
That's probably a firing if I do that.
Yeah.
You didn't get fired for telling a homeless man to go fuck himself.
Well, that's outside of work.
Yeah.
But coworkers are with you.
Doesn't
and
matter.
You didn't get fired for asking for a kiss from a male coworker.
No, but you might get fired for that.
If it was a female coworker, you might get fired for that. Asking for a kiss.
I'll go with the panties.
Brian?
Yeah, panties.
I mean, screenshots are forever.
Okay. Would you rather, while standing around with a bunch of coworkers, tell everyone you have an amazing story for them, and then go into exquisite detail about how you banged your longtime girlfriend last night? Or, at a large meeting your boss is holding with you and your coworkers, announce that you're coming out of the closet, ask everyone not to let your girlfriend know about it because you plan on stringing her along until you get her pregnant?
That's a good one.
So,
What was the first one again?
Yeah, what was
the
the
first one, you both have long-term girlfriends, or Bri, you have a girl that you torture, but you guys have girls you generally are with. You have to tell everyone you have this amazing story. When they all gather around, you start in fine detail banging them, like, oh yeah, I'll tell you what would happen. Like, and you just have to be really into it when you're telling them about it, until everyone of them walks away and it's just cannot look at you anymore.
And the second one is tell everybody you're gay?
Not to tell you you're gay. You're coming out of the closet. But don't let your girlfriend know about it because you want to string her along until she's pregnant. So not only are you gay, but you're also.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one too.
Because the last part sounds almost heinous that you're stringing her along to get her pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather have a girl you slept with from a while ago and you really do not like some girl you slept with 8 years ago? You do not like her at all. She comes to you and tells you she has a son. He's 8 years old. He's yours. And she's giving you full custody of this 8-year-old boy. Or
B.
Yeah.
Or would you rather get fired from work? B.
Yeah, B. That was probably the easiest one so far.
No even hesitation about getting fired from work?
No, it's like, the fun, cute part of the baby's over. Here's some shitty little snot-nosed kid.
And you have to support him. And your custody's yours. You have to figure this shit out.
Yeah, I feel like I'd find a job quicker than I'd find money for a little brat.
Okay. Would you rather, this is more for Jay than Bri, but would you rather eat a full 3-course meal while sitting naked in a men's locker room or get Lyme disease?
Lyme disease is forever, right?
Lyme disease, it's treatable, though. My boss had Lyme disease.
Lyme disease is tough. I'll take the other. I don't want Lyme disease. That's tough.
I know, but Jay doesn't want to sit naked in a locker room.
I don't, but I would.
But I could put the full course meal over my crotch, right? Probably.
No.
Oh, I can't do that.
You cannot do that. It's the time in the locker room when the most old naked people are there, and you're gonna eat a salad.
Wait, is this a gym locker room or
gym locker room?
Oh,
gym
right.
locker. You're gonna eat we're gonna give you spaghetti and a chicken parmesan, and you're gonna have to eat ice cream for dessert. Full on meal in the locker room with it's 85-year-old man yoga day, and they're all getting naked, getting ready.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah,
because Lyme disease is pretty treatable. You can get Lyme disease. You'd be like suffering for a few weeks, and that's over.
Yeah, I'd rather suffer for a day than a few weeks.
I don't know. My boss had it twice, actually. He seems fine.
I know a couple people that have it that are fucked up from it.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on how severe it is, it could be bad.
Okay. Jay, do you still want to just do the 3-course meal thing?
Without the other option, just to do it?
Yeah, just to do without the other option, yeah.
That's going to be like season 8 of Impractical Jokers. They're just going to have to break the law.
Okay, my last one. Would you rather tell your girlfriend, and this is again was a little more geared towards than Jay than Bri, because Bri wouldn't really care about this one. Would you rather tell your girlfriend her cooking makes you want to vomit, and you've been lying to her all these years about liking it, or develop a bedwetting problem.
How am I going to explain all the weight I gained? I hated your food so much, but I gained all this weight eating it.
Well, just say like I hate it. I think it's disgusting. I think you're a terrible cook. It's like it's horrible. You're cooking, or you have to pee in your bed for like a couple weeks.
Couple weeks ain't bad.
Yeah, you have a bedwetting problem for like every night or two. Your girlfriend and yourself are waking up because she's gonna know when you're peeing in the bed. Also, you're waking up in a wet bed, and you have to deal. It takes probably let's just say this problem lasts for a month. So you either offend your girlfriend, or you pee in your bed for a month, and have to deal with her being like, "Oh my fucking god, I cannot believe that Jay or Bri is peeing in their bed with me."
I'd probably go with the bed peeing. I feel like she would forgive that. She would never forgive the cooking thing.
Yeah, I feel like Bri also is just gonna say, "Yeah, fuck her." I already tell her that.
Bri probably pees on her just out of spite.
She doesn't cook, so I can't really like. It's kind of inapplicable.
I'll stop peeing on you when you start cooking.
Bri's like, she doesn't cook. I'll just pee on her anyway.
You're like, I'm already planning. I was already planning that tonight anyway. So what's going on, guys?
I was going to work yesterday, and there's this Middle Eastern guy that stands by the bus stop, and he sells newspapers and water and Gatorade every day, rain or shine. He's out there like 7 days a week.
So he's a harder worker than all of us.
Yes, yes.
It's like not even close. Like he should be the successful one.
Yeah, every once in a while I buy a bottle of water because I feel bad. And some guy was driving past yesterday, and he slows down, rolls down his window, and flips him off.
Why? I mean, I guess the guy shouts something that like would go along with the "go fuck yourself."
No, it was a silent finger. He's probably just one of those like America guys who sees a Middle Eastern guy with a beard and hates him, and they're all fucking terrorists. I'm gonna flip them off, America.
Oh, one of those guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he had like Confederate flag boxers on or something.
Could we cut to that scene?
Sure.
Do you want to buy Gatorade?
Fuck you, terrorist.
Oh man, Jay, do you know who that was?
Why the hell would I know? Can I just have my Gatorade?
Oh, that was my son. He's a real jerk.
End scene.
So what do you guys think about the whole Donald Trump's? We haven't done Brink in a little while, but the whole Donald Trump dropping the bombs in Syria. Where's your take on that?
I thought it was funny how he tweeted the entire Obama administration how bombing people is bad, and then like immediately starts bombing people.
So here's what I don't get. So he bombed them because they were using chemical weapons, right?
Right.
Is that the basic idea?
Apparently.
So, but the day before that they were using chemical weapons, they were using regular bombs and guns to kill their people, right? And they were totally fine with regular bombs and guns. But if you use like sarin gas, then we're going to step in. You can kill your people all you want. Kill as many kids as you want with bombs. Just don't use sarin gas.
You're right.
That part I just didn't understand.
I don't know. Maybe he has stock in sarin gas, and they were giving it a bad name.
Yeah, maybe Donald Trump was selling like an alternative brand, and that's why he's like, "Listen, you have to use regular Donald Trump bonds. We just don't get into sarin gas. We haven't gotten to that market yet."
You have to use Trump brand sarin gas.
Like the day before, they're like, Donald Trump, he bombed and just killed like thousands of kids. Oh, well, that's pretty good. That's efficient. Okay, cool. Go on. Just to make sure it doesn't use sarin gas, because that's our competitor. Right? What'd you think? Did you like the fact that he used the bomb?
No, I the whole thing is so stupid. I don't know. It's just like it didn't accomplish anything. I mean, they bombed a field and they were launching planes from it later. It was just.
Yeah.
Well, it did. No, it did accomplish something. It probably fostered another dozen terrorists.
Yeah. Someone had a great tweet around that time. I don't remember verbatim, but it was like, Trump's mad that they're killing their own when he was talking about babies, he said they said, Trump's mad that they're gassing babies so that those babies can't grow up to not be let into our country or something, or to get refuge in our country or something like that.
That's pretty funny.
I can't, it was something like that. I can't remember the exact wording, but
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah.
Well, I saw one that said Trump is bombing the people for killing the children that he wouldn't let into the country or something like that.
Yeah, that's something like same idea.
Yeah. And also, like, he did the bomb. He said, we stopped them. Do any of us know if anything changed in Syria?
No.
I have no idea. They could still be using sarin gas for all I really know.
Yeah, I don't think anything really changed.
Yeah, like he solved like literally nothing. Except for like, he's like, okay, now Russia's our enemy. We need another enemy.
He spent $200 million.
Yeah, that was worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to spend $100 million any other way that's like helpful to people. I mean, like, what does that buy food for people?
So I had to work late this week, which is great for my studies. But when I work late, they give me a car ride home. And
What time do you have to work to get the car ride?
you have to work till 8:30.
Okay.
So I worked until exactly 8:30.
Yeah, I mean they kind of encourage you to stay till exactly then. Aren't you done with your work already? It's 2 minutes, 8:30. I'm going to be done in 2 minutes.
And they buy you up to $25 worth of dinner, so that the game is to see how close you can get to $25.
What do you buy for $25?
I got 2 burrito bowls.
Okay.
And that came out to I think it came out to 23, so I added it an extra $1.50 to the tip.
It'd be great if they checked you to listen, you can get whatever you want, but you have to eat it before you leave here. But I don't want to eat the second burrito bowl. You're going to eat the fucking second burrito bowl.
Anyway, so on the car ride home, my driver crashed immediately.
Crashed immediately?
Immediately. We didn't go 1 foot before he crashed.
What did he crash? Describe the scene for us, Jay.
So, they call you up and they say car number whatever is waiting outside for you. So,
okay.
So I get I go out, I see the car, get in. Apparently, he didn't see a car pull in behind him, and he immediately floors it and smashes the car behind him.
Oh, he backs up right into the car?
Fast. I don't know if he was in a hurry or whatever, but yeah.
Did you before that say, I need to go to Astoria and step on it?
No, there was none of that. He just took it upon himself to do that.
So what do you do then? The crash happens. I imagine what he's supposed to do is call the police and file a report, right?
Yeah, but the guy behind him was another black car driver, so
they're neither he'll send us out of this country if we call the police.
Yeah, so I guess they talked about it. They looked for damage, didn't really see anything, and then he got back in the car. Was
there actual damage, or you think, or just it was a fender kind of thing?
There was probably a scratch or two because I feel like he hit him hard enough where there had to have been something.
Were you at that point, when he hit the car right away, do you still want to take the rest of the ride with him?
No, because then I knew he was going to be he didn't say anything. So I'm like, oh shit, this guy's probably super embarrassed. So now he's going to drive fast to get me to my destination as quick as possible and get rid of me.
Did you end up giving him roadhead?
No.
I just thought the story was going there. Sorry.
No, but the it was probably the smelliest car I've ever been in my life. So the first 10 minutes, I thought
So he crashed. You thought this would be a terrible ride, yet you didn't get out of the car and get a different car.
What? You can't get a different car.
Well, if the guy crashes, you could think hey, maybe there'll be another accident. Maybe I just don't want to risk my life with this guy.
Then I got to go back into my office and try and set up another car, and who knows how long that's going to take. It's late. I want to go. I want to go home.
Well, okay, what if you get to the car and the guy you smell alcohol on his breath? Would you go get another car, or would you keep going?
I would
you
probably
let him drive you?
I'd probably keep going.
What if he's
I mean, if he crashes,
drinking?
then I get a lawsuit, and then I don't have to work anymore.
But let's say he's got a handle of Jack and he's drinking.
Well, I mean, if he's fucking smashed, then I'm not going in there. But if he's a little drunk and I might get some money out of it, then I'll go for it.
What if he's not wearing pants? Do you let him drive you?
I'm very unobservant. I probably wouldn't even notice.
Okay.
But the smell in this car, it was I don't even know.
How does it get that smell? Like, what is he doing in there?
It was a smell unlike anything I've ever smelled in my life. It was like a combination of stale cigarettes, earwax, and like an infection.
Do you I assume you open the window, right?
Well,
Or
we turned
do
the
you open the window and he's like, no, I'm using the AC, and he closes the window on you.
Well, kinda. After the accident, we turned the corner, and he gets out of his car at a red light and just starts going through he opens the trunk. I don't know if he's looking at stuff or if he's like looking for damage. I don't know. But now we're on a highway and he's like outside the car.
Here's the question: if let's say he hits the car, they talk, he pulls out of the space and hits another car. Would you then get out?
Yeah, then I'm done. Two strikes and you're out.
Okay, so you're in the middle of the highway. He's gotten out. He's going through the trunk. What are you doing?
So I'm about to throw up. So I open the window all the way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, there's some air. I think I'm going to make it. He gets back in the car, sees my window open, and shuts it.
What, did you reopen it?
No, I would. At this point, I'm a little worried that this guy's unhinged. I mean, he just crashed a car and then got out in the middle of a highway.
But you still have no issue with like your life being in his like control driving the car.
No,
that's not a concern. You won't open the window because that part scares you. But him like driving 50 miles per hour with you in the car, totally fine on a highway.
No, I'm not comfortable with any of this. But now I'm committed. I'm on the highway. What am I going to do? Get out on the highway and start running?
Well, I think the guy's going to kill me. Then yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Like it's better than like it's better to be on the side of the highway walking than like have this guy crash again or like somehow take you back to his lair to like do whatever he's gonna do with you.
Well, I was using too much of my my thought process trying to focus on not barfing. I didn't think about getting out and running.
What if you said to him like just like very casually, "Oh, do you mind if I open the window again? It fucking stinks in here."
In retrospect, I should have done that.
You don't think that you think that would have like helped? Like he would been like, "Oh, you're right. I'm sorry."
Yeah, maybe he would have been like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was picking my ear and I have a festering infection and I smoked a bunch of cigarettes." I'd be like, "Oh, so that combination of smells does make sense."
Maybe he tries to make his car as stinky as possible. He's waiting till it gets too much and he gets fired for that. Like he like hates his job and the only thing he can do for fun is to trap people, like hotbox them in this awful smell.
It's to just have a opening pus festered wound in his leg and just let the car smell up with that smell.
Yeah, like there's a dead squirrel on the driver's side seat. You just can't see it, but it's been there for like months, and he just wants to make it the worst car. And he's like, "I fucking hate my job. I do this all the time. I drive these fucking assholes who like have all these jobs. You get your free car ride home. Fuck them. I'm gonna hotbox them in this fucking awful smell. And that'll make my I'll do that for the rest of my life, and then I'll go to heaven."
I worked late last week, and I had a talkie driver, and he was telling me about how he had to drive this guy like 2 hours, and he was drunk, and he always has water bottles in the back. Well, he used to have water bottles in the back of his car. Apparently, the drunk guy didn't say pull over. He just drank one of the water bottles and then pissed in the water bottle.
Right.
And then he picked up another lady, and she said she was thirsty. And he said, "Oh, there's a bunch of water bottles back there."
Oh God.
And she was not a happy camper.
Hey, what if you're driving and you're like it kind of, do you mind if I open it? It kind of smells in here, and he said he thought that was you. would you be like? Would you just like take that? Or would you like say something back to him?
Well, yeah, I mean, at least that would open some dialogue.
Yeah, he's like, I thought that was you. It smelled perfect before you got in the car.
I'd be like, well, it's not, but
I'd be like, that's your opinion, man.
yeah, I mean, whatever gets the window open really is the important part of this conversation.
You at any point did you think about putting your fist through the window? Like you're like, it'll break my fist, but I at least survived the ride.
I was kind of thinking about putting my neck through the window and ending it all.
Because that's a long. How long does that ride take? It's probably take you like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you're from downtown to get into Astoria, it's got to take a little while.
Yeah, and then we were cruising and we were making really good time, and then we get to the bridge and it's just the traffic stops.
And do you try to open the window again? He closes it again. He puts the child lock on it so you can't get out.
So what I'm saying is, it was a fun day.
At least you got to work late. That sounds pretty awesome too.
No, this is on the way home.
No, I'm just saying you got to work late and you got to.
Oh, I got to work late. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not
You had the privilege of working late.
Yes.
Yes, that was a better way to say that.
Yes.
So I was recently away on a short trip, and I had to rent a car when I was on a short trip. And have you guys rented a car recently? Like, when's the last time you rented a car? Either one of you can answer.
A long time ago. Never?
Okay. Never? Really?
I rented a U-Haul.
Oh, I rented a car in California. Yeah, last like October.
So I've noticed they one of the things they do now is they try to get you to pay for like gas. They'll tell you so I go to the gas. They're another way to make money off you. They're like, you can if you have to bring it back full. We're giving it to you full. You bring it back full, or you could pay us for the gas ahead of time. Prepay for your gas.
Yeah.
And that way, and the woman says to me, she's like, listen, the gas here I was in Seattle. The gas here in Seattle is $3.15 a gallon. We'll give it to you for $2.98 or $3 a gallon. So you'll be saving money. I was like, okay. I mean, like, so you're saying no matter how much gas I bring, I end up with, you'll just fill it up and just charge me the remainder of it. And she's like, well, no, you have to buy a half a tank or a full tank ahead of time, and then either you save a half a tank or save a full tank. Are you guys following with the basics?
So you have to like plan ahead for what you're. You have to plan ahead for what amount of gas you think you're going to use. So they want you to guess how much gas you're going to use.
Yeah. Basically, the woman's like, she's like, well, what are you going to be doing in this trip? And I'm like, I'm seeing family and blah blah blah. And she's like, well, driving around town. She's like, that'll probably be about a half a tank of gas. And I'm like, well, if I use exactly a half a tank of gas, I save money. She's like, yeah, you save money because we're charging $2.98, and around town it should be like $3.12, $3.15. I'm like, but if I use any less gas than a half a tank, I'm paying for gas I'm not going to use. But you're saving money. I'm not saving money if I'm using less. And if I use more, you guys are going to charge me this outrageous rate to refill anything over that. She's like, yeah, but you're saving money.
So you only save money if you use exactly one half tank of gas.
One half a tank of gas. If you can figure out how to use exactly a half a tank of gas, then you have benefited from this plan. They basically are making money off the people who can't figure out how fucking dumb of a deal this is.
Right. That's pretty funny. I bet they sucker a lot of people with that too.
Oh, I'm sure. But I can see the argument if you were just like, oh, money doesn't matter as much to me, and I just want the convenience, or I want to pay extra just for the convenience of not having to refill. Totally get that, and then you pay for the full tank or whatever. But if you're just trying to save money, they should just say to you, it's just for convenience, because saving money is almost impossible with this plan.
Yeah. I mean, and even if you get it exactly right, you end up saving like $5.
Wow, the Bucks are winning now.
The Bucks are winning?
Yeah, they're down by like 30 a little while ago.
Oh, yeah, they were. I thought that game was over.
Oh,
wow. Not like it really matters in the NBA playoffs. It's just like, hey, teams, why don't you guys play some games that are meaningless till the Golden State and Cleveland play each other?
Right. Do you guys want to go to some questions?
Yeah,
Sure.
All right. We have emails, thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. Lorenzo writes, hey guys, have you seen the new Louis C.K. special on Netflix? It's called 2017. I have to say it's pretty average. There's some good religious stuff in there, but otherwise it's average. But the volume of stand-up specials now on Netflix is amazing, and we're getting them the same day as the U.S., as it should be. Can you recommend any other stand-up specials from recent times?
Have you guys been watching the ones on Netflix?
I don't have Netflix anymore, so
I don't have
not
Netflix
seen
either.
any of them.
The Dave Chappelle.
I heard it was pretty. I heard the Louis C.K. was pretty good though.
You know, they had like this religious. He has this religious.
He
bit.
killed on Saturday Night Live. Did you see when he hosted Saturday Night Live?
I
That
just
was
saw
better
the I just saw the clown bit.
Did you, you didn't see the monologue?
No.
Oh,
You
he
should look up-
killed the monologue. Yeah, you should YouTube it.
Yeah, the monologue's actually better than the stand-up special. The monologue was amazing.
Yeah,
The
the monologue was.
So the stand-up special was like an hour long. He had like a 15-minute religion thing that was hilarious. Like it was a different take on something that I don't want to ruin it for you by watching, but he had a great take on something that you were like, that's fucking hilarious. But outside of that one really good bit, the rest of it was pretty average. But that bit, I thought that bit alone was like we made the show made it a very watchable special just because of that one bit. Like I'd recommend watching it just for that one bit.
Okay.
But the SNL one, I don't know how that wasn't in his Netflix special because the SNL stuff was even better.
The any Bill Burr special is amazing.
The Dave Chappelle ones weren't bad. One of there's like two of them. The second one I thought was better, but they're both pretty good. I don't think I haven't watched too many of the Netflix ones.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like super recently, so can't really help you there.
Here's a question for you guys. So I know you guys don't. You guys, let's just say, well, Jay, I guess your walk from the train is not that long, right? It's like a 10-minute walk at most. Brian, do you have any? Do you have like
to my apartment or to work?
Yeah, to your apartment.
Oh, it's like a minute and a half.
Yeah. So like, so if I get, my train, my house are 2 miles away from each other.
Yeah.
And if I get home late, once the kids are in bed and it's not too cold out or anything like that, I will just walk home instead of taking a taxi. I know Jay walking 2 miles takes 38 seconds, but it takes me about 35 minutes to walk 2 miles, give or take. I know Jay thinks that's insane for it to take that long. Like you think 35 minutes, I should be around the earth at least twice. So it was a little bit drizzly, but I was like, fuck it, I don't want to pay for an $8 cab ride to get home. So I'm gonna walk, and I'm wearing. I don't really dress up for work. I look mildly homeless at work. So I'm wearing basically a shirt and I'm wearing a hoodie to keep warm, and it's a little bit drizzling, so I kind of want to wear the hoodie up. And it's dark out. It's like 10:30 at night. Would you feel at all a little weird about walking through your town wearing a dark hoodie with like the hood up, basically?
No.
In the sense of like I'm like is someone ever since like the Trayvon Martin thing, I'm like I know I don't live in a town that's in the South, but I have my hoodie up. Is someone going to shoot me?
Well, I mean, maybe
like
in your like Richie Rich town that would happen.
I don't know. I like, do people you think if you're wearing your hood at night, do people kind of look at you like you're a little bit like, what's going on with this guy?
Only for
Well,
black.
I mean, are there other people out there?
No, there's not very, like, it's pretty like, you don't see a lot of people walking. Like, I'm walking from the train. I'm the only person walking from the train.
Only
It's
if you're
pretty,
black.
it's pretty dark. You're in the suburbs, so it's like not a lot of people are walking to the suburbs.
Hmm.
I'm just thinking, like, I'm looking around, like, I'm like, someone's gonna pull up or like call the police because I'm wearing like the hood up, basically, because I'm trying to keep warm.
You're fine. You're white.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did it, and I was like, but the whole time, I'm like, am I gonna be in trouble? I'm like, I feel like if I was not white, I don't think I would put the hood up.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
I'd get wet instead of getting shot.
Mhm.
I don't. Would you guys put the hood up if you were not white?
No.
I don't know. I am white. I don't know what I would do.
Right,
if I was-
right.
I don't know what I would do if I wasn't white.
Jay, you lied to me about Bri. I thought Bri was Mexican. Jay, you want to go to the next question?
Sure. Lorenzo writes, hey guys, question for Bri. If you were to start a religion right now in 2017, what would you call it and what are your 10 commandments?
Oh, nothing like putting me on the spot.
You should read the questions ahead of time.
I should have.
Is this Facebook questions or emails?
These are emails.
Bri can't read the emails. He doesn't have Does he have access to the account?
Yeah, how am I supposed to read the emails?
Say, Jay, I want to read the emails.
Jay, why don't you just give him the username and password for the site?
Right now.
Right now. I'd give him to you, Bri, but I just don't know him. I'm going to say for Bri, it'll be the religion of the taking a dump without your shirt on. I think that could be my favorite thing that Bri does.
I don't know if I'd have a lot of followers after that.
I think most of
Maybe.
the commandments would be like, who cares? I don't give a shit. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me.
It would probably be a very hateful religion because we'd have to hate a lot of things.
It'd be like things like you're like, oh, did you watch the show 24? And someone would be like, yeah. Okay, burn him.
You'd have to be over like 27 years of age to join.
There would definitely be like a no Dave Matthews clause.
Yeah, there'd be like no, like if you have like a neck tattoo, you're out. If you're a girl and you wear those like oversized glasses, that stupid look, you're out.
How did that look get so popular?
I don't know.
Right. Here's a question for if you're gonna have a church, right? Is your church gonna have video poker?
Well, I don't really play video poker. There might be some.
What game? What's your game?
There might be some tables in there. Sure, why not?
Okay. Yeah. I assume it would be. I assumed it would resemble a casino very closely.
Yeah, I guess that it could.
I have also a question is if you go to church regularly, if you go to a certain amount of times, would you get commemorative plates? Or like would you get some kind of like you go every time you go, you get part of a dinnerware set.
That sounds like
I'll get you like a big like piece of paper and we'll punch a hole every time you come in, and then when the whole thing is full of holes, then you get promoted to like Grand Wizard or something like that. I don't know.
Grand Pumbaa.
So it's like the KKK. I'm just wondering if you get like a dinnerware set or something like that. Like you get the casino.
No, probably not.
That sounds like way too much work for Bri.
Yeah, because then I'd have to find the dinner, and and I'd figure out who earns it, and
so like Jay, if you go to church, like I go to church, well I go to synagogue. They talk about God, but none of us have ever seen God, and we have to like pretend God exists or like go along with them.
And we have to pretend this one guy just knows all of it.
Well, my question is, would Bri do the exact same thing, but not with God, but with the psychic friend of his, who we claim she's really exists and she does all this stuff, but she'll never be in the fucking show, so we don't know.
I haven't heard from her in forever.
No.
The last time I talked to her, she was having a huge meltdown because she changed jobs and she lost her insurance, and so she couldn't afford her like anti-anxiety meds. So she was like having a meltdown, and I was just like, talk to me when you get your pills.
When she tells you about like her problems, do you ever just go, well, I mean, couldn't you see that coming?
No, I don't play that one.
Because that would be the best way for her, the best way for her to never talk to you again. Would be really fun.
Yeah.
Bri's sermons would just be.
That's my out for like the last, like when I don't want to be friends with her anymore. I'll just say that.
Would your girlfriend get to be in the religion, or like would she be locked out?
Well, she's Jewish. I don't know. She's probably not allowed to trade, is she?
Did Steven just lost respect for you, by the way?
For me?
Yeah, because you're one of the tribe. You're dating the tribe.
Well, I don't think he ever had any respect for me, so.
I would guess of the three of us that Steven liked you the best. What do you think, Jay?
Probably.
Yeah. He doesn't like us, so.
He definitely doesn't like us. So,
yeah, I read to Bri before Steven's most recent comments to me. It said, immigrants are garbage. Go fuck yourself, you stupid. I don't think I'm going to read the N-word on the show. But then it said, fuck you, faggot.
All right.
Yeah. Steven, he's pretty good with the poetry.
I just picture Bri opening up his church. He gets a full house. Nobody really knows what to expect. And then Bri just goes up there and just starts ranting about shit. Like, girls who shave one side of their head are fucking stupid. And I hate those big glasses. And fucking dubstep's gay. And, like, it's just an hour of Bri just spitting vitriol about shit he hates. And then it's just this, like, silent, awkward shuffling out of people after an hour.
You think
when did that stupid oversized glasses look start?
Some girls, they pull it off, though.
I've not seen one girl pull it off.
I don't mind that look. I'm not like a big fan. I don't mind. Some of the girls, I don't know. When you have an attractive girl, they pull pretty much everything off.
I don't mind that as much as the shaving the one side of the head look. They like buzz like one side of their hair.
You like that?
No, I said I like the glasses more than that buzzing.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Shaving the part of their hair off, that's up there with getting a face tattoo for me.
Yeah, I don't get one side.
We should give tattoo artists the liberty to kill people at will. Like if you're a tattoo artist and somebody comes in and they're like, "Could you give me a neck tattoo?" I'd say, "Sure," and then get them in the chair and just slash their jugular, and then just dump them in the back of the building. And like they should, and then Trump should create like a department where like they just come and pick up all the dead neck tattoo people.
Right? Would you call that is that like your sermon?
Yeah. I mean, that would be one of the things that we'd be fighting for with our tax exemption.
That was Psalm 28:62. Go fuck yourself, people with tattoos.
Hey, can you put this on my face? Sorry, no, I can't.
Because you have no face.
Yeah.
Do you think when Steven's writing me like fuck your fat Jewish face, you stupid faggot, do you think that's his first, like the first time he wrote it, or do you think like there's multiple drafts and this is like the final edit?
No, I think he's just copying and pasting from things he sent to other people 2 minutes before.
I think that's probably true. It wouldn't be great though if he was sitting there and like he's like, "Fuck your fat face, you stupid Jew," and he's like, "No, I used Jew already once in the sentence. I've got to change it a little bit." and like it's like at first he's like, "I don't know, fuck your fat." I'm going to use the word fat. Maybe his face. I'm going to throw in the word fat here. I think it really works here. I'm gonna follow with a piece of shit, but then, no offense. I gotta say no offense because I don't want to offend him.
There's a whole page of like scratched out notes to get the perfect
He's sitting at
one.
Starbucks or the Canadian equivalent of Starbucks. I'm sure they have Starbucks in Canada. Just like writing, like typing on his computer. People like he's drinking a latte. Oh, he must be a writer. He's always in here writing. I bet he's got a book coming out. What are you writing? Oh, I found some podcast that no one listens to online, and I tell the people to go to hell. I tell them to fuck themselves.
Now, can I have my maple syrup latte, you bitch? I'm just assuming everything's maple syrup in Canada.
Yeah. I'll take a maple syrup scone. That sounds wonderful, you fucking cunt.
It's not even coffee. It's just cups of maple syrup.
Yeah.
Lorenzo writes, "Hey, Mark, how is your sister-in-law going with her divorce? A bunch of guys I know are dropping like flies lately in terms of divorces. It's pretty crazy. I blame women. In their 20s, they'll overlook a guy's flaws just so they can get to the altar and pop out a few kids. Then the reality of everyday life kicks in, and nothing is good enough anymore."
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what. So my sister, her divorce is over. It was over as of like July, and she's doing pretty well since the divorce. A lot better than during the divorce was fucking horrible. But now she's doing a lot better. The kids are okay, and like it's a lot better situation. I don't know. Why do you think people are getting? Why do you think so many people get divorced? I feel like it's a lot of it that people that shouldn't be together in the first place got married.
Yeah.
Like people who are fighting all the time, they're like, it'll make things better with all our fighting? Having a kid making things really stressful.
My friend did that with marriage. And
did what?
Got married. They were fighting, and they're like, well, getting married should fix everything.
And are they divorced or still married?
They got divorced within 5 months.
Oh, God. Well, at least I feel like also if you don't have kids and you're getting divorced, then it's almost like breaking up. There's not much of a difference. You sign some papers. It can't be that much worse.
Right.
Yeah, all you really did was waste time at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like involved in the legal system for no reason. If you have kids and you're like ruining lives, that's different.
Well, you also wasted the money of all your friends who sent you all those gifts.
Yeah. Like my sister, like there's 2 kids. It's horrible because there were 2 kids.
Yeah.
If there were no kids involved, you would have said, hey, he's the complete asshole. Just don't live with him anymore.
Right.
We're done.
Lorenzo writes, hey guys, my wife and I are pretty keen on baking sweets, and I'm regularly bringing stuff into the office for people to eat. Today I had a stash of cookies just for myself, but I accidentally left them in a public kitchen area unlabeled. By the time I realized, most of them were gone. This gave me the idea of if you leave anything in a public area at work, it is gone in 2 seconds. Freaking vultures. This gave me the idea of an experiment. People obviously just eat whatever they see without questioning it. I could make some laxative cookies and leave them in there and await the results. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I said before that like people giving out like outside of like places giving out like free samples. I will eat poison without even thinking about it, basically, if it's a free sample. And I agree. At work, if it was laxative cookies, I'd be shitting my brains out because I would have eaten one, no question.
Well, there's one girl at work says her food keeps getting eaten from the fridge. I told her she should put Epicac and laxative in it. So the person trying to shit and barf at the same time, you know who's the culprit for eating all the food.
So you're sort of like, oh, Jay, you remember your advice you gave me? Well, Bill in accounting's dead. Thank you.
Well, he won't be eating your food anymore. You're welcome.
That was a Boardwalk Empire. They had that in that, not the ruin. There was like a thing where like a college kid was like wanted to get back at someone, so he put like that kind of stuff, but it kind of overdid it, and the guy basically died.
Well, he probably deserved it.
Yeah, he probably. It seemed like from the they showed a one-dimensional thing about the character who died, so I was like, yeah. I mean, I didn't really miss him.
Mark sent in an awesome bracket ideas for our Brink of Sanity.
Thank you. I appreciate my contribution.
I am almost. I almost got the site back up. I think I should get it up this weekend. So I'll work on putting the bracket together, and I'll see if I think we have 32 different things now. So
you're not even going to point out that it's not me that had the idea?
We all know it's not you.
Okay. Jay, I have a question for you. If you can go back in time, would you talk yourself out of video editing since it did not work out?
What was it?
Like, if you can go back in time to yourself, to your, when did you go to video editing? You did it at 22, 23?
Yeah.
So if you can go back in time, tell your video editing self, this shit's not going to work out, start focusing on the CPA exam now, would you do it?
Yeah.
You don't feel you're better off for having gone through that experience?
I don't know. I mean, I would tell myself something different. I would at least give myself a tip. Like, hey, YouTube's going to get really popular. Maybe you should put all your stuff on YouTube now instead of waiting for it to have 100 million users.
Hey, get out of America because Donald Trump's going to be president.
Right.
Right. If you could go back in time and find Jay as he's starting video editing, and then just lie to him and tell him, just stick with it. It's going to work out. I'm telling you. I'm from the future. Would you do something that cruel to him?
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I definitely would do that.
No, man. Just like no matter how horrible it's going, just keep going because I'm from the future and it works out really well.
Not only would Bri do that, he would write himself a note as a reminder to remind me of what he did at a certain date.
Bri, if you could go back in time, would you talk yourself out of something like career-wise or school-wise?
Yeah. I would probably. Well, ironically, when I was going to go to college, I was either going to go to Northeast. I was also sent to go to Bentley for accounting, and I went.
You were going to be at accounting?
I actually.
Wow.
Was. So I would probably I've just gone there instead.
So in some alternative universe, you'd be everything Jay dreams to become now.
Yeah, well, I was going to room with a friend of mine from high school because he went there, and I actually still might have met Jay because of Matt's friend that went to
you guys could have met at the CPA exam.
Yeah.
I would go back to...
Bri's like proctoring Jay's exam.
Jay's coming to me for like tutoring.
You're like, I just don't like. I mean, like this stuff is so hard.
I don't understand, Jason. I don't understand why you can't figure this out. It's rate times hour times filing status. I don't understand. Now you say you have a podcast you have to get to, but if you're not going to put in the work here, then I don't think we could do this.
I think I could spend the next 20 minutes listening to Bri rant at Jay.
I would go back to 10th grade because I almost made the basketball team that year. And
I think you've talked about this before.
Yeah, the coach asked me to be like the team manager and to like keep stats and stuff. And I've always been like obsessed with basketball stats, and that probably would have put me on the right track to like do something with that.
You would have been Daryl Morey.
Yeah.
If only you'd taken the job of the basketball. So if you could correct one mistake, the basketball stat thing, the manager thing for the basketball team, or not doing video editing, which would you correct?
Probably the basketball manager thing. I think that would have had a whole sliding doors moment there.
Okay.
Lorenzo
What about
writes,
you, Mark?
Probably wouldn't go to law school, or at least I would have worked before law school to have like some perspective on the world before going to law school. As I don't practice law anymore.
right, but then you wouldn't have met Randy, and then she wouldn't have introduced us, and Brink wouldn't exist.
Or it would exist in a different form. It would just be Jay on the air by himself, because Brian would have ditched him a long time ago and not been interested in coming back.
That's right, because I would have been Jay's proctor.
Yeah. Could you just do the Brink or Shaddy show with me? God damn it, Jay. You're never going to pass the CPA exam with this kind of attitude. Jay, time value of money, asshole. Are there more emails, Jay?
Yeah, I was just reading a message from Eros saying, please do not ever do a Would You Rather segment again. It's so useless. He wants more tax and real world talk. Or Mark to talk about his wife's panties and sexual life.
I thought I feel like my Would You Rathers are usually like very similar. This one I thought was a pretty decent Would You Rather.
I just wonder if all your Would You Rathers are like stuff that's been presented to you all week that you've had to like. You have the end of the week to make a decision on all these, and you're like, I better ask these guys what they think. What I should do?
Secretly,
Maybe.
Mark's Would You Rather is just life advice.
Yeah. I'm going back to work. Can I have your wife's underwear? Give me a kiss in the cheek and fuck you, homeless man. Nailed it.
Mark's pacing around like till 2 a.m, like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to sit naked with this fucking meal on my lap, but I also don't want to, whatever the other choice was.
Honey, your cooking sucks. Okay.
Secretly, Mark's insane, and he thinks he has to do one of these two things.
I go to the doctor. I've decided, doctor, I need Lyme disease. How do I get it?
Can I have the Lyme disease pill, please?
We treat Lyme disease. No, I want to get Lyme disease. Can I get it from one of the other patients?
I couldn't
Just
find it at
Go to the
CVS.
woods and find a tick. That's all.
I'm sitting in like the waiting room, like asking people, do you have Lyme disease? Oh, you do. I'm so sorry. Could you bite me?
Could you spit in my mouth?
No, I mean, like, what's the matter to you? You're trying to get rid of it anyway. Why can't you get rid of it to my mouth?
Go to every Dwayne Reed and ask for the Lyme disease aisle.
Is there a Lyme disease aisle at Dwayne Reed? That'd be the saddest aisle at Dwayne Reed.
Except the saddest thing on Dwayne Reed is the line. That fucking place.
Okay, so I talked before about the fact that like I find buying condoms to be pretty goddamn awkward when you do it like at Dwayne Reed, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to order them on Amazon. I figured like order them online. That sounds better, right?
Yeah.
My wife was just like, "Oh, really? You're gonna order them online?" I'm like, "Yeah. What the fucking difference? We'll get it in the mail." She's like, "That's like weird to order them online." I'm like, "Is it like less weird for me to do it in person?" She was really worried, based more than anything, about that our kids would open the box and be like, "What's this, mommy and daddy?" And we'd have to be like, "This is how we made you, or this is how we prevent making more of you."
When you buy condoms, you add a lot of stuff, right? Like if you're going just for condoms, you end up with like chips and breath mints.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
A box of granola bars I had no interest in eating. So now I have to get them.
I always end up buying like 10 extra things just to try and like bury it.
But now online, I don't have to be like, I can just be like, I don't have to like add like, oh, I'm going to buy condoms online and I'm also going to buy a Lego set. I don't have to add shit to it. And that's also weird if you add a Lego set to a condom order.
Lorenzo writes, let's say North Korea drops the bomb on a major American city. We'll go with Houston. Everybody gets wiped out. Then a week later, you get a notification from Twitter advising that Brink of Sanity Twitter handle is now available. Turns out the dude who had it lived in Houston. How do you feel?
That's an amazing question. Thank you, Lorenzo. That was my favorite question of the show. Jay, since you're the founder of the show, how do you feel?
I think I'm pretty excited to get the final, the original Twitter handle back. Nick of Sanity was so stupid. I so regret doing that.
Hang on, here's the question. Do you go back and make yourself basketball manager, or stop yourself from video editing, or just stop yourself from doing Nick of Sanity's Twitter account? What was so because we were doing the Nick show, we decided to combine the Twitter accounts?
Because we thought switching back and forth between accounts would be too difficult.
Wait, there's actually an app for switching it back and forth.
There wasn't at the time.
So do we still have the Nick of Sanity account?
Well, it's Brink of Sanity 3.
Oh, you just changed the name. You can just change the name?
You could change the name if nobody took it.
Oh. I can't believe you don't have the account. What about 2? Why don't you get number 2?
I don't think that's available either.
But maybe you should message that guy.
You just move up in the ranks every couple of years.
Yes.
We're getting there.
Or what if you could just change one of the letters, like Brink of Sanity, but put for the instead of an letter O, put a 0.
Oh, like with the Trump one?
Yeah.
Because
so that
I
way
want
no one could follow it.
Yeah, I know. I want people to be able to find it. I like the guy who
Brink
emailed
of Sanity
us.
with the letter 0.
I like the guy who emailed us like a month ago and said, "You guys should get a Twitter for Brink." And I'm like, "We've had one for 8 years."
Whoa, why didn't I think of that?
Kevin writes, I was going through past shows and I heard Bry doing an impression of Mark, and it was dead on. If Mark ever decides to get that surgery to his uvula out, you should fuck Robo Mark and let Bry Mark take over.
Would I get to message Bry what I want impersonation Mark to say?
Yeah, it'd be like a weird ventriloquist act.
Mark,
Yeah, if I get send the messages to Bry and he'll talk for me, that's fine.
Mark,
I think that was a show I was not on. You did the impression of me, right?
Yeah, it was with the random ass radio guy.
Yeah. I listened to the show. It was pretty good, except for the parts that where like Bry's like, I almost lost my job this week, and you guys were like, moving on, and then John was like, I almost died this week, moving on.
Mark, just think about it. An added bonus is imagine all the money you will save from not eating, you cheap bastard.
That's true, but I probably have to pay for the surgery, which I imagine, like with my shitty insurance, I'll probably have to pay more money than the food would cost.
Rice and beans is cheap, though, so Mark probably
Rice
doesn't
and
spend a lot of
beans,
money on food.
Yeah, I usually pay about 70 cents a can for my black beans, and that's a big part of my meal is the 70 cents I'm paying.
Today was the first time in 6 days that I didn't eat rice and beans.
You eat rice and beans every day?
I started to. It's really good.
You did?
Yeah.
It's black beans?
I was switching back and forth between black and pinto because I went to a Brazilian restaurant on Saturday and they had both.
Oh, what do you like better?
Black beans.
I don't think I've ever really. I mean, I've tried pinto, but I've never really been like, wow. I never thought about buying pinto beans for home.
It was like refried, almost like refried pinto beans.
No, I like refried beans, but aren't black beans are amazing?
Yeah.
They're such a good food, and they're so. If you buy the canned, I guess if I had to make them like from scratch, I would never make them. But the canned ones, or you just open the can and there you go, and you can heat them up, and you got them. You got like part of a meal.
Yep. Twiggy writes, why is it wrong to be proud of being white, but not to be proud of being any other race?
Does he know the history of the world?
Should you be allowed to murder someone if they murdered someone you love?
Like if you have like let's just say like forget that like maybe they did it. You're sure Brian killed your sister. You get a free pass on killing Bri?
I think you should. Like, I was thinking about that. Like, if I had a kid and somebody killed my kid, would you like wait for the trial and hope justice gets done, or would you try and kill that shit out of that guy?
So forget the Donald Trump creates a vengeance law saying fuck it, everyone gets revenge. But like in a realistic scenario, your sister gets brutally murdered, and you find that guy, you don't wait for trial, and you shoot him. Should you go to jail for that? I gotta say you should not go to jail for that.
Yeah,
I have trouble locking you up for that.
Well, here's an opposite question. If you go to jail for attempted murder, and while you're in jail, the person you attempted to murder ends up dying, don't you think you should get out of jail?
Why?
Yeah.
Brian?
Well, the person dies like not from you. Like, say you shoot somebody and you go to jail for attempted murder, and then that person gets cancer and dies in 3 years. Like, I think I think your sentence should be up because that person died.
Are you doing a comedy bit? Or are you serious?
No, well, a little of each, but no, I am serious.
What? It's not. It's not. You're attempting to commit a crime, which is murder. I mean, you're committing a crime, which is attempted murder. That's
right. But
it doesn't matter.
But then the person dies, so it's like you should be commuted for that.
Why? Because the person. I don't even understand the logic. Just because the person died, you still attempted murder.
So. But I didn't murder him. But the person's dead now. So.
But you never. But when you attempted murder, you never murdered him. It was attempted.
Well, I don't know.
That was the best comeback to his attempted murder. So. So what?
I think she get out of jail for that.
That'd be great. That's I don't know about the morals you're preaching for your religion, Bri.
Well.
I mean, I say do unto others as they do unto you, and if you attempt murder, you get away with it if the guy dies within 3 years. It's the out clause.
Well, I mean, you attempted murder. You didn't murder anyone.
Okay,
you kind of failed at committing a crime. Is really what it is.
Well, yeah, that's why it's called attempted.
I know. So how could failing to commit a crime be a crime?
Well, the attempt is the crime.
But you didn't succeed.
You don't have to succeed for it to be a crime. If I break into your home, I've committed a crime.
Lawyer Marc's coming out.
Yeah, but what if you tried to break in and then you just went home?
The actual,
I think
the law says the attempt.
Well, if somebody killed your sister and then you kill that person, you're a killer. You should go to jail.
Well, that's your opinion. We're just sharing our opinions on this.
All right.
I was just saying I have trouble prosecuting someone, and I understand why you would prosecute from them. You don't want people just going out and like
committing
their own
hands.
Yeah. At the same time, if someone is so like lost with anger and rage because you murdered someone close to them, I would give you a very light sentence at the least, at the most. I do not want someone spending 20 years to life in prison because they murdered someone who killed their child. I could see like a strong defense there, mitigating factor.
You'd have to have good proof too before you kill the person.
That would suck if you had just shitty proof. You're like, yeah, he killed my sister, so I murdered him. And they're like, your sister's at court with you. She was just visiting friends on vacation. Oh, fuck.
You don't have a sister. You're an only child.
Oh, I guess that was a dream. Damn it. But your scenario is you don't think attempting murder should be a crime.
No, I think it should be a crime. No, it's a crime, but I mean, I think once if the person you attempt to murder ends up dying just haphazardly or randomly, I think then.
Well, let's say you attempt.
Because then what are you really in jail for? You're
attempting murder.
But then that person died, so you're no threat to that person anymore.
It's your threat to the public. The whole point is you're a threat to society because you attempted murder.
But I only tried to murder one person. I didn't try to murder society.
But here's the thing. So if you attempt murder, and let's say you attempt to kill Jay, and Jay says to the police, I don't want to bring charges against Bri. I'm not going to testify against him. The police don't need Jay's testimony. They don't need Jay to press charges. They can arrest you anyway because any kind of crime is a crime against the state.
Well, Jay knows if he rats me out, I'll have somebody kill him.
Well, if you have a threat of having him, what if you threaten to kill someone? Should that be a crime?
Can we change topic? Because now I'm all fired up, and before I fall asleep, I want to rant about something I saw on TV the other day.
It's like it's not cheating if you put peanut butter on your balls and let your dog lick it off because it's your dog.
What if you attempt to cheat on your girlfriend? You go to a club and you try to sleep with a girl. She says no, and then she knows your girlfriend. She tells her, should your girlfriend be mad, or she'd be like, I did nothing wrong. She wouldn't go to bed with me.
I think it's a completely different scenario.
It's the same. Well, it's just a similar scenario of you attempting to do something and you should not be held responsible because there was no follow through.
Completely different scenario.
Okay, let's just go with my completely different scenario. Bride, what do you think? Do you think you'd be allowed to get away with that?
I would just say that your girlfriend's lying and was coming out to me.
What if you say she's like, well, you attempted to sleep with a girl, and you're like, yeah, but she got hit by a bus the next day. So
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
ran her over with a bus. So what's the problem?
Yeah, if she's dead, then you could have tried to sleep with her the day before she died. You get a freebie
Right.
on that one.
I could sleep with her now. She's dead. It's not cheating.
Yeah,
She's
it's not
dead.
cheating. She's not a person anymore. She's a dead body, and that's something I like to do.
What's the problem?
Yeah, no, I'm just I say you're the only one for me for people that are alive. But I could, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's a fair thing to say. What rant did you want to say about TV?
Oh, well, it wasn't TV per se, but did you guys see this thing with Adidas and the Boston Marathon?
No,
No.
tell us.
All right, so the day after,
Oh, that was the
Boston
thing they
Marathon.
had to apologize for, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is how stupid the world is getting, and it makes me. This is why people become terrorists.
Yeah.
Well, just tell. I don't know anything about this.
I think this story
the day
made
after
20 terrorists.
The day after the Boston Marathon, Adidas either ran a commercial or an ad in the paper or something on the internet.
They
and it
emailed
said-
everyone who ran in the marathon.
Jay, if you
It's
tell
no.
us-
It's a congratulations on surviving the Boston Marathon.
Wait, what? Adidas sent a message saying congratulations on surviving the
Surviving the
Boston
Boston Marathon.
To everyone who ran
To
in
the
the
people
marathon.
that was running wearing Adidas stuff.
No one working at Adidas thought this was a bad slogan.
It's a common phrase for people who run a marathon to say
Yeah,
congratulations
what's
on
the
surviving
problem?
it.
First of all, in the history of the Boston Marathon, only probably 3 people have died in the Boston Marathon. So surviving the Boston Marathon isn't really an accomplishment.
Wait, so are you think Adidas they're fucking morons, or do you think that
No.
No,
it's a
I
big
think
deal
the people
for-
I think the people who got pissed off about it are morons.
Yeah.
But didn't this happen? How many years ago did the Boston Marathon happen? Like,
Like 3 or 4.
I feel like congratulations on surviving 9/11. Like, I
It's
don't know.
different because it's a common phrase. Whenever you run a marathon, you say something like congratulations for surviving it.
Is that common of a
Because-
phrase?
Yes.
I've not
Because they're
heard it.
stupid enough to try to run 26 miles for no fucking reason whatsoever.
The
No, I
original,
get that. I
the
get that. I
original
didn't know that
guy
was a
who,
common phrase.
the original guy who ran from Athens to Marathon died.
Yeah, no, I know that. But what the is that a common phrase though? That congratulations on surviving.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
But
like
people are
everyone.
such fucking pussies and so sensitive. Like, oh my god.
I
It
know,
was an uproar.
I could see that being a dumb phrase for Adidas. No one sitting there was like, remember they had the bombing 3 years ago? You might not want to say the word survive.
Yeah, but now you can never use that phrase ever again.
Well, what if instead of like yeah, but that's I don't know. I guess if you're a big sneaker commercial, you can't use that phrase.
That's stupid.
Yeah, that's really
People-
You could use it for every other marathon. It just seems I could see why it's a dumbass phrase to say for the Boston Marathon.
No, I think people are getting way too emotional. I think people are going out of their
it's
way.
the whole Boston inferiority complex is what it is.
No, it's deeper than Boston. People are going out of the way to get offended by everything.
Everything.
I don't think getting offended, but I can see. Well, if you actually had someone that you also love one in that one, you feel like that's kind of a bad phrase to say. And I also just think that like maybe not get offended. You just say, "Hey, Adidas," that's a fucking moronic thing to say after the Boston Marathon 3 years
But
ago.
it's okay for them to make a movie to cash in on it, though.
No, I don't think that's okay either. I hate when they do that. Those kind of movies, I think they should spend every dollar should go to victims or something to help people, not like people just profiteering off of like tragedy.
Well, according to Infowars, it was a hoax.
Yeah, they never even run a marathon in Boston.
But Alex Jones is a cartoon character, we've determined. So
Holy shit, the Alex Jones divorce stuff is amazing.
Oh, it's so good. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. He's in court for custody of his kids, and they asked him simple questions like who his kids' teachers are, or how old his kids are. He couldn't answer one question, and he said it was because he ate a big bowl of chili right before the hearing, and he can't remember anything.
I just don't get so Alex Jones is completely a fucking madman.
Yeah.
But he already had custody of his kids. Like how much of a fucking whack job was their mom if he had custody?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like she must be like the worst human.
Yeah, what are her views?
The guy who thinks juice boxes turn you gay won the original custody hearing.
Yeah, he's like Sandy Hook was a hoax, and she's like, no, the Jews killed everyone. Like it's like her views are ahead of like crazier than his.
I was on the subway Tuesday, and this one guy mentioned 3 different things that he said triggered him.
What do you mean triggered?
That's the new, like, perpetually offended word. Like, okay, in Bry's example, all the people who got upset about the word survive got triggered.
Oh, because
It's a term that I thought that conservatives used to make fun of liberals, but apparently really ridiculous people actually use that phrase and say they were triggered.
Well, because I can get so I get migraines. I don't get them that often, but there are triggers where I know the things I have to avoid, or else they're called a trigger for getting a migraine. So I thought maybe the guy on the subway just got migraines. Just explain to you how he got them.
No, it's a new phrase for if something gets you like super irrationally upset.
So what was his big things?
I don't know. It was something like he went to church and he didn't like he was being vague. Like, I went to church and the pastor said something that triggered me, so I didn't go back. And then he said, I did something else and this triggered me. And then he said, my friend asked me about something and, I said, I don't like to use this phrase, but that really triggers me. And I'm like, you just fucking used it like 3 times. You don't like using that phrase.
Well, so he's like, I don't like when people smoke in public. That triggers me. And then what does he do when that triggers you? That's like
you go into your safe place. That's the other thing. A safe place is where you're not allowed to have. This is going on in colleges now. People get triggered.
People are going into safe places.
Yes, people get triggered and they go
those
to
stupid safe spaces.
Yeah, they go to designated safe spaces where they're not allowed to have any ideas that might upset people. And if you go to a safe space, that's pretty much any idea ever. It's just a bunch of people.
I really hope North Korea blows us up. I really do.
I'm gonna say, much like Alex Jones does not believe in Sandy Hook, I don't believe these safe places exist. I think they're made up. There's no way I can go to. We go to a college, we will not be able to find this safe place.
I thought it was a fake InfoWars article, but after that guy said triggered 3 times, I'm like, holy shit! Alex Jones was right on this one. There really is triggered safe space people.
I don't. There's also I guess so. Ann Coulter was going to speak at Berkeley, and people were offended she was coming, and so she's not coming now. And they're and they go off. They're like these college students, they don't believe in free speech, and they how could they not let they don't listen. They're closed off to ideas, and they should listen to Ann Coulter speak.
Yeah, I agree.
You see, I disagree because what I don't understand is they're Ann Coulter should have a right to speak, okay? Yeah. But you're shouldn't the college students have a right to speak also? If they want to say we don't want to hear her speak and we don't want her to come here, that's just as much their right.
No, you show your distaste by not going to the speech. You don't let her speak. You just don't go to where she's speaking.
Exactly.
Why can't you protest? You're allowed to protest.
That's
also part of the First
Then
Amendment.
you're protesting free speech.
You're exercising your free speech against her free speech.
No, it's banning somebody from being able to talk, which is
she can. First of all, her coming to you going to a college campus to speak is not protected at all by the Constitution. There's literally nothing protecting you in the Constitution from doing that. Secondarily, as far as your speech is just as valuable as her speech. They don't say. If you're a public figure, your speech is more important.
But they're not speaking. They don't have anything to say. They just say, "I don't want you to speak." That's not.
Yeah, but that's speech.
That's ridiculous. You would be if you were in college right now, you'd be in a safe space.
I'm not.
Ann Coulter would have triggered you, and you'd be in a safe space, sobbing and hugging your other social justice warriors.
Jay, you think if we were in college now, we'd be anarchists?
Yeah. Oh, we would we would have been expelled.
You think we'd be part of the resistance?
Yeah, there would be we would have 2 friends, and we would be the outcast of the college. Absolutely. I think when we went, we were fringe, but we would be complete outcasts now.
I feel like I would have given a shit more about my classes now. I definitely didn't I'd be a more serious student now because I'd actually be oh, this shit actually matters. Not maybe what I'm learning in the class, but actually doing well matters.
Yeah, I would probably find out what a syllabus is before 3 months into the semester.
Yeah. I would probably I'd be this. I'm paying this much money to the school. I should actually give a shit about what I'm doing.
I remember just walking up and down the halls in November, drunk, and I'm like, "Why is everyone so busy?" And they're like, "Did you look at your syllabus?" I'm like, "What's a syllabus?" And
I really hope you didn't say what's a syllabus.
yeah, it took me 2 months to figure out what a syllabus was. And then once I found out, I realized how absolutely fucked it was.
I think we have a bunch of questions on Facebook.
We do.
You want to go lightning round?
We have the third part of Twiggy's question from a half hour ago. Excluding Mark and his clan, how do we fix the Jew problem? Aren't you glad we got to that?
Well, what about
You mean
Bry's?
by excluding Mark and
Yeah, they're allowed.
What is a statement or a question?
What about Bry? Bry is part of the tribe now also, where he's dating the tribe.
That's
so
true.
if Bry has kids, if Bry has kids with this woman, his kids will be a member of the tribe.
Yeah, there won't be any kids in the tribe.
Well, she already has a kid, right?
Yeah.
How old's your stepson?
I think he's 14.
How come if one of the two parents is Jewish, the kids have to be Jewish? That's kind of bullying.
It's not. It's only the mom.
From the vagina. The vagina's Jewish.
The mom has a lot of power. Yeah. In the Jewish religion, it's the mom. I believe in Christian religion, it's the dad. So if the mom is Christian and the dad is Jewish, the kid's nothing.
They just fight to the death.
They're like, you're in nothing. We fucked this up.
Or we got it right because religion's fake.
I mean, not much faker. So, but the Church of Brian's real though.
I like how you
Yes.
go to church and still admit it's fake.
Who goes to church?
You just said you went to whatever temple or whatever.
I don't fucking go to temple. Did I lie on the show?
Yeah, you said
Yeah.
that like a half hour ago.
What were they talking about though?
Going to temple. You're a fucking
I go to
liar.
I go to temple like at bar mitzvahs and weddings. I don't really go beyond that.
You lied right to our face.
What were they? I was just saying. No, I was saying when you go to temple. I was doing something. So we're talking about something related to. I've been to temple in my life. I've
Mhm.
been there like many times in my life. I got a bar mitzvah, so
What are the lies that we've been hearing today?
I don't really have ants in my house. I'm just lying about that. I just thought it'd be
Yeah,
funny
I
to
knew
tell you
it.
guys that.
Knew it.
There's no town library. I don't have kids.
Every single one of your stories is just a tale.
There's a paid actress that walks in and out here sometimes. I don't have a wife.
Mark only has 3 people on his staff to take care of his house.
I'm in lots of debt. I spend lavishly.
All right, you want to get to the questions?
Yeah, go to the questions.
We're already like an hour and a half in. Oh, I'm
When
doing-
I do the Knicks questions, I do the questions. You on the Facebook, the Brink show, you kind of like you dawdle a little bit. You need to like move for the questions, Jay. Keep the show going.
I dawdle.
Yeah.
I asked one question. You guys cut me off halfway through and went on a half-hour tangent.
Can I ask you guys a serious question? Is
See, here we
dawdle
go.
a word? Did I just make that up?
Is
Dawdle.
never heard
it's dawdle.
Dawdle. Okay, Jake, move on.
I'm trying to get to the questions. I thought you were doing the Facebook ones.
I thought you were doing the Facebook ones.
Well,
You-
apparently I am.
I thought the whole point was that you want to do the Facebook ones in the show. I get the Knicks Facebook ones.
Well, it's usually just because you read everyone's back and forth subtweets and all that.
Do you want to
stuff.
discuss this more or do the questions?
I'm stalling while the page loads up.
Holy shit.
Jesus, trying to be professional here.
What is the thing about now? You have to list all the bands you saw and guess which one I did not see.
Why not?
Is that like I saw other people doing that? It's not just your idea. Why are people doing this?
I don't know. Every once in a while, a fad comes out on Facebook, and everyone does it. At least that one like brings out conversation. It's it's less
Yeah.
terrible than other ones.
What was your answer? Jay put up 15 bands and he was like, guess which one I did not see. I was gonna guess it was Insane Clown Posse.
I saw them with Bry.
At
What
Woodstock.
was your band?
The
I
one
thought maybe at a festival you would have seen them.
the one I didn't see.
No, the 14 you saw. I want to hear that.
Rush.
You did not see Rush. Okay.
Wanted to, never got to it.
I put Mozart on my list. See if people can guess it.
One
Is it-
person put this.
Are you using dial-up? Is it not loaded yet?
Yeah, it's going really slow. Rosero writes, opinions on the free CUNY tuition plan for making families making less than 100K will make our degrees more common or make it harder to get on college. Will this cement the BA degree as the equal to a high school diploma?
I think it's pretty awesome what he's doing. It's. They say it's not it's not as perfect as it sounds. There are certain things like you have to live in New York City, or you have to live in New York afterwards for 3 or 4 years. But a lot of people that go to school in New York are going to live in New York anyway. It covers tuition, but not like your other expenses. So it helps with school, but it doesn't cover like room and board. But I still think it's pretty awesome. What do you think?
I think it's cool, but I'm kind of annoyed that I still owe $8,500 on my undergrad, and other people getting in for free.
Can you can I get reimbursement for doing this now?
Yeah, I'm like still bitter about the Baruch thing, and now they're doing this to the undergrad.
It's kind of cool that they're doing it. I feel like this is like Cuomo has to be running for president. He's got to think he's running in 2000. Like he's been doing a lot of liberal stuff that like he's gonna be like, this is stuff I'm running on.
Yeah. Are you guys excited for the summer or hate hot weather?
I hate hot weather.
Me too. I
am very excited for the summer.
If it goes above like 82, I start getting cranky.
Yeah.
I'm in a town that has more fun in the summer because there's more to do in the summer, and I have kids, and kids like stuff with kids is so much better when you can be outside in nice weather. So I'm pretty excited. I enjoy spending my weekends at the town pool. That's how awesome I am.
Yeah.
Rosaire writes, what is better to buy in New York City, a condo or a co-op?
Condo.
Co-ops, you always have to pay co-op fees, and you have to get permission to...
You're better off buying a hot pretzel.
Well, yes, because you can't buy a condo or a co-op. You cannot buy property in New York City. I don't understand how that works, Bri. If the condos cost more than co-ops because co-ops have such restrictions on your rights, what you can do with them. You're much more bound. Like the condo, you can rent it out. You can do construction if you want. Anything you want to do to it, you can do to it. Co-ops, you have to get everything approved, and they can say no to anyone you want to sell the place to or anything you want to do for whatever reason they want, except for the fact they can't say, we're not going to let you sell to this guy because he's black, but you can say, we're not going to let you sell to this guy because we don't like tall people in our building, and that's totally fine.
My friend had a co-op, and he tried
Unless he's tall and black. That's no good.
Yeah, that's...
My friend had a co-op, and the board turned down the first 7 people that tried to buy the apartment, and they never gave a reason for any of them. They just kept saying no.
What if they just keep they dance around the most racist reasons? They're like, we're not going to let you sell to that individual because he seems like he's good at basketball.
Jason writes, what ended up happening with Jason's CPA? Has he failed? Hey, has he failed it so much? I'm taking it again May 12th. I don't know. I don't know what the rest of that meant. I'm graduating soon, and I'm expecting to get a job starting at $47K as a person in his early 20s. What can you guys recommend me do as soon? I start working as in terms of save or invest or so on. P.S. We'll be living with parents rent-free for 2 more years while I'm making that kind of money.
That's a pretty good money coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yes. Yeah. If he does, do we assume he does not have college loans, or he has? If he has debt, he should pay it down as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But if he does not have debt, I say invest in.
Yeah, put the money in some into 401k plan or something.
Yeah, you max out your 401k. You should you can put money in index funds.
There you go.
Yeah, we're really our Brickasati investment part of the show is really. People should be downloading this just to support on the show. We have a whole separate Brickasati investments part of the show, like our spinoff where we give just the most awful advice to everyone.
Jason writes, Jason, as a person who will be graduating soon, should I go for my master's? And if I did, where is my first step to get loans for it? Please be specific. You're actually helping someone here. I would say...
Yeah, Jay, take this seriously, would you?
Yeah, Jay.
I would say it depends what you're doing. Depends what your major is.
I feel like you should. I feel like before you get your master's, you should work at least a year or 2 in a real world job. Make sure you really want to get that master's in the first place and get some experience anyway.
I think that's good advice. You don't want to be, you don't want to go take 4 years to get your master's and then you're almost 30 and you've never worked in a real job before. That's so I'd say work for a year. Loans, I took out my own loans, but a lot of jobs will help you out with tuition. So try and look for a job that'll do that.
Didn't your job help you out with tuition?
Yeah, but I use that to pay off my credit card debt.
Okay.
So yeah, the advice number 3: don't get into $20,000 worth of credit card debt.
Yeah, well, I guess like it's good if you get a job that when the job might pay for it also, which is pretty big.
Liam writes, guys, where can I get sex for money? Mark, you've been with the same woman 12 years. Okay, cut the crap. That borderline sanity. Where is a safe place in New York City to get sex? There has to be one that's safe and us common folk can go.
Oh, I thought he wanted to get paid to have sex. He wants to pay for sex?
Yeah.
I feel like if you wanted to get a prostitute, it can't be that hard to get someone without getting like busted for it.
Why don't you just download Tinder? There's plenty of whores there.
Do you think you can get actual prostitutes on there?
No, but you could have sex for free. Why pay?
Let's just say the scenario. For whatever reason, Jay, you decided you want someone to just pay, and the joke is that like you don't pay a prostitute for sex, you pay them to leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you decide you just want something that like it'll just happen once and it'll be over, and you want to get a prostitute. How would you go about doing it?
I would look up escort services.
Yeah, I would say look on Craigslist. I bet you could find them on Craigslist, right?
Probably,
yeah.
Would you just walk around the Bronx like asking like girls that look attractive?
Just waving money around?
Are you a hooker? Are you a hooker? I guess I'd go to a casino and just walk around doing that. I think if you go to a casino, like if I walk, if like a girl will just come up, a prostitute will just come up to me, probably, right?
Yeah.
Brides, do prostitutes ever come up to you?
No, I don't think there are any at Mohegan Sun. I've never seen it. I'm there all the time. I've never seen any.
Yeah.
I know South Station in Boston, they walk up to you.
Why do you know that?
Because last time I took a bus to Boston, a toothless 60-year-old black hooker walked up to me and said, do you want to, she said, do you want to have some fun or do you want to get some? And I said, yeah, I'm all set. Thank you.
I was in Barcelona, and they have these really tall Moroccan hookers who come up to you, like those come up to you, be like, hey, what's going on? And they'll grab your balls.
Jesus.
Like they're like really aggressive.
Yeah, that's...
you're like, and I'd worry about. I just want to like you're like no, you have to like be like kind of assertive, like really not interested.
Austin writes, remember when you guys thought this was a scam? And it's an article saying $43 million in cash found in empty Nigerian apartments.
Brad, did you see this?
No.
The best thing is the quote on below it, because it says $43 million in cash found in empty Nigerian apartment, and then the quote underneath it, some guy wrote, poor guy probably spent the last decade trying to share it, but no one ever replied to his email.
I didn't hear about that.
That's an amazing
awesome
response.
Liam wrote, what was the most difficult class you guys took in college?
I took what was it called? Bio
English.
Yeah.
Third grade reading.
It was something called like biomet.
Money management.
It was a combination of like economics and like
Jewish history.
Biometry. That's what it was called. Biometry.
Biometry.
I don't fucking know what that. I still don't know what the fuck biometry is. It's an advanced like economic class. I fucking had no idea what was going on, and I also was not serious enough as a student to like figure out what's going on. Because like, if I was there now, I'd really ask the teacher, like, I don't fucking understand. Could you please explain this to me, like in like the TA or something like that? But there, I was just like, I don't understand. And I guess I'll just not do well in this class. But that was a hard class I took. What about you guys?
I mean, there was plenty of hard ones in grad school. I'm trying to think if I took any hard ones in undergrad.
The middle year writing in Northeastern was probably my hardest because I was such a shitty writer.
Jay, what about that class you studied for the CPA exam? Was that a hard one?
Freshman year writing was probably the hardest one for me because I had to take it. Well, I had to take it 3 times.
Oh, so it was your original CPA?
Yeah, but then the middle year writing's supposed to be the hard one, and I did good on that one. Bri was so pissed.
No.
Liam writes, name a time you guys got injured and broke a bone or fracture, and how was the healing time?
I have never broken a bone, but I have badly sprained my ankle a couple times. I badly sprained it playing basketball once, and I was having trouble walking for at least a week.
I destroyed my ankle like 10 years ago, and I didn't have health insurance at the time, so I had a limp for like 8 months.
That's when we were in the volleyball team together, right? Were you on the volleyball team with me, and you destroyed your ankle, and then you didn't really play on the volleyball team?
Maybe.
When I first met you, you were limping, like you destroyed your ankle.
Yeah, it could have been. I think that, you know what? I think that was after I destroyed my ankle, but I like re-injured it because it never healed right, so I kept like re-injuring it for a while. Anyway, I broke my left pinky finger. It got hit with a bat. That was it.
Oh,
yeah.
How to get hit with a bat?
This crazy kid in my neighborhood was swinging it around at everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I tried to stop it
with your pinky.
Yeah, I didn't have my hand like, parallel to the bat. I had it perpendicular, so he kind of like hit it head on.
Yeah.
Eros writes, I just found out my ex-girlfriend from high school who dumped me is now pregnant and a single mother. On top of that, they're about to evict her from her apartment due to Jewish landlords increasing the rent with no remorse. Anyway, I've never felt more joy in my life. That whore cheated and dumped me for a black guy who worked at KFC. Guys, what became of your ex-friends? Which be the saddest story of the girls you dated and dumped you?
So I have a question with that story. So in that story, he actually
There's a lot of racism in that story.
He actually seems to have liked what the landlord did because he hates this girl.
Yeah.
Yet he still calls him a fucking Jewish landlord.
Yeah.
He can't just say like the good Jewish landlord did this. Like the landlord seems like to be the hero of this story.
Yeah, sounds like he's on his side.
Yeah. Yeah, messed up. The Jews trying to help you out, and you're fucking them, huh? What was the question?
Trainwreck ex-girlfriend stories. You broke up with a girl, and did they have like a horrible experience afterwards?
Not that I know of.
No, nothing. I did have this girl I was hooking up with for a while, and I was supposed to go to her father's wedding. And like it was 2 weeks before, and I was just someone I was like sleeping with, but I wasn't really into. And I just felt like weird going to the wedding for her dad, where I'm like, it's really not dating your daughter. I'm just like fucking her and not giving a shit about her. So I told her 2 weeks before the wedding, I was like, I'm just not going. I can't go with you to this wedding. And she got really mad at me, and she started like cursing me out for like telling her at the last minute. And I just hung up with her, and then I don't think I ever talked to her again. It was a week before the wedding. It was like right before the wedding. It was, yeah. It was one of those things where I'm like, I look back on it, and that was a wonderful decision. Because it wasn't like I had like a good thing going there. So.
Yeah, probably good long term.
Yeah, like it was one of those things that was like a shitty, like I shouldn't have been like, I didn't like her, but I was like sleeping with her. It was something I should have ended anyway. So it was like not the best way to end it, but it was better that I ended it.
I had an ex who got hooked on heroin and ended up living in a car.
Really?
Yeah.
Over you?
Maybe.
Okay.
Hopefully.
What high school, college?
College.
How soon after she was dating? Like, was she into drugs when you guys were dating? Like,
nope.
How soon did she?
Completely straight edge.
Okay, so you guys break up. How soon thereafter does she start heroin?
Less than a year.
Before he hung up the phone.
Less than a year.
Was she like? Did she? I imagine she did other drugs prior to heroin, because usually heroin is not the gateway drug.
Right.
So she like progressed to like her life just like turned to shit because you broke up with her. How upset was she when you guys broke up?
Apparently enough to like drop out of college and do heroin and live in a car.
Was she like what broke you guys up in the first place?
I don't know. Just went crazy. Yeah, everything was like normal, and then one day it was just like, oh, I'm insane now.
Yeah.
It was very weird.
Okay, maybe she was heading there anyway. The whole heroin thing. You were just like kind of like.
Bri was there for this whole thing.
Bri, was she crazy?
Which one?
I don't want to say the name on the air just in case people are listening.
I'm pretty sure if you said the name in the air, no issue.
The real pale one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she was crazy.
Anyway.
Begins with an M?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure I'm thinking of the right person, the right name.
Yeah, yeah. Eros writes, Trump party just announced a huge tax cut bill. I read through it and it sounds pretty beneficial for us middle class. Jason, opinions. Please be factual, not emotional, like Mark watching CNN or having white guilt. We opened the show with that, so thank you. Alan writes, hey guys, Mark got the Montreal Screwjob story wrong last time. Also, I don't care if Bri doesn't want to listen to this. Tell him to get a better tattoo. So this is how it played out. Brett signed a huge deal with the WWF, but the WWF can't afford to pay him that amount. Basically told him to join the main rival WCW. I don't remember talking about any of this.
Yeah, no, I know what he's talking about. I talked about this. I heard this on a podcast. I told about how Bret the Hitman Hart was leaving the WWF, and he got screwed at the end, and he slapped Vince McMahon.
Well, he said Bret had a rivalry with Shawn Michaels. This turned nasty between the two. Bret thought Shawn was insulting the wrestling business. Shawn thought Bret was an old fool. They had a backstage fight mid-1997. Shawn started spreading a rumor Bret was having an affair with a female wrestler called Sunny. When Bret was about to join WCW, he would have lost, no problem losing to Shawn. Shawn called an idiot, and I'd never lose to him. So Bret refused to lose, so Vince arranged for the referee and Shawn to screw Bret. Vince feared his title being brought onto WCW TV and being destroyed.
Yeah, isn't that what I said? I mean, I didn't get the rest of those details, but I said basically he didn't want to lose the title. Bret the Hitman Hart said he was not going to lose the fight, and then they tricked him and they had him lose the fight, and so he got mad.
Yeah, he didn't know he was going to lose the fight.
Yeah, because everything's scripted, but the script they told him, the script he had was that there's going to be a disqualification, but they had the refs count 3 and have him lose.
Also, Jay,
and that's when it got really over the top fake with McMahon being involved and being the key bad guy and stuff like that.
Brian, were you on the show when we talked about this?
No.
Oh, so there's a podcast. You ever hear of what's it called?
I still don't remember any of this.
Well, Jay, you have to be on the show. You're on every episode. I didn't do the show without you.
Unless it was when your internet kicked out again.
There's an NPR podcast called Radio Lab, and they did an episode about this. It was really interesting. And they said basically, so after they count 3, Bret the Hitman Hart's really enraged. He's like, Vince McMahon, fuck me. So he runs back to the the back room, the backstage, and he slaps.
Yeah, I remember. I know the incident. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So they basically after that they had to talk it over and decide because him slapping that was real, and they were like, should we just go back to normal and pretend it didn't happen, or what should we do? And that's when they made the switch, and they said we're gonna make Vince McMahon part of the show and make it more reality based. That's when everyone's name went from they all had real names and they changed but that was it was the decision they made right there, how to handle him being slapped.
Yeah.
But they did you should find the episode. They do an amazing job explaining that explaining it.
Maybe I will.
Alan
yeah,
writes,
it's actually a really good podcast too.
Also, Jay, what do you make of the Marvel executive blaming diversity for the failing of comics? This is for Mark. Basically, Thor is no longer a man, and Iron Man is now a young black female. Not blaming Marvel's stupid decision to continuously have special events, crossovers, and the new #1 edition. Also, has he checked DC Rebirth? I love the first 20 issues of Batman, The Flash, and Superman. So, I don't know if you guys heard, Marvel's doing really, really bad with comics. And somebody who worked at Marvel...
Selling the comics or the movies?
The comics.
Okay.
So, somebody at Marvel said it's because of diversity. People are getting upset about the diversity they have in their comics. So, they're changing a lot of characters to female or minorities or whatever. And so, he's saying there's a backlash. Basically blaming, hillbillies for getting upset about that.
Who does well in comic sales now? What if Marvel's not doing well, is it DC is doing really well or
DC's doing all right and Image is doing good. Image does The Walking Dead and a couple other things.
Okay.
So
is Image the leader now of this?
No, they're still way, way behind because even though they have some huge titles, they don't have a lot. Marvel and DC pump out hundreds of comics every month.
who's number one? Like who makes the most money now?
It's almost a dead heat between Marvel and DC.
So how is Marvel doing bad if they're like one of the top? Like, what's the problem?
Well, they're not like making money anymore. Yeah, I mean, just because they're like, the top.
Oh, so they're the biggest brands, but they're not making the money they used to make.
Neither of them are. Yes.
You think people are just reading comics less?
Yeah, because every time like a comic dips in sales, they just restart it at number one, and there's a big jump in sales numbers for like 2 or 3 issues because everyone wants to collect the number one. But in the long run, what it does is make it super confusing. Like if you went to a comic store right now and you said, "I want to read X-Men," you would go there and there would be like 6 X-Men number ones, and you'd have no idea what's going on.
Are there a lot of like online comics? I imagine there must be a lot of online comics now.
Well, Marvel and DC are going digital, but the problem is they're charging the same price for the digital comic as they are for the paper one.
Well, but beyond that, I imagine there are a lot of like digital comics out there. They're not, like a lot of like independents, basically.
That
like, do you think that eats into the business at all? Like, there are a lot more people that can produce comics and just put them online without.
No. I think people want they want to see Iron Man, they want to see Captain America. But the other problem is that they up the price to like $4 a comic.
How much was it before?
Well, I mean, it's been going up gradually, but like when I was collecting, it was like, $2, $2.25. So like, and they've cut down significantly on the dialogue. So you can read a comic in 10 minutes tops, and you're paying like $4.
By the way, I wanted to, if you don't mind, I wanted to borrow The Walking Dead. I wanted to read them.
If I thought you weren't screwing with me, I'd lend it to you.
Yeah. For those listening, Jay loaned me insisted I borrow the first the first 20 Walking Dead from him. He left it in my apartment for a year and a half. Eventually picked it up in my apartment. I literally never touched it from where he put it down.
Mm-hmm.
So
I meant to read it, but I never read it.
Well, I mean, you only had a year. I could see how that didn't happen.
I just I sometimes I thought about, I'm like, oh, maybe I should read that, but I just never did. I couldn't just sit down and do it. I have been reading. My son took out Ninjago. That's a big comic, a big thing for kids. Or my son. You know what Ninjago is?
No.
It's like it's like Legos, but they're like ninjas, and they have like my son I was reading him a Ninjago comic basically, which was like boring as hell to read, but he was into it. I couldn't imagine he was following what was going on either because they had like a lot going on in it.
Alan writes, Mark, what would you do if your son supports a different team than you? Also, what would you do if your daughter, when she gets older, of course, brings home a guy or a girl and then supports the teams you hate? Will you be angry with your potential grandchildren, or will you be supporting that team?
I think I'm on the way. My son loves to we went to the game on Saturday. The Mets were playing the Nationals, and my son's like, he's like, who are they playing? I'm like, the Nationals. He's like, go Nationals, go Nationals. Go. And he's always like, go Yankees. But he just says that. He says it just a bit like he wants to see my reaction. I'm like, no, we don't root for these. He's like, ha ha ha, go Nat. Eventually, he'll probably just start following them seriously and be like a real like Yankee fan or a real Nationals fan, just to, like get me. I'd be kind of saddened. That would make me. I really want to share the Mets and Jets and Knicks misery with my son.
Mm-hmm.
As far as my daughter,
it's only fair.
Yeah, as far as my daughter, when she brings home, same thing. I feel like she should date a guy that I could relate to through sports. What else am I going to talk to him about? Oh, so you're not into the Knicks. So I hear you're begging my daughter. Let's talk about that instead.
Andrew writes, is Jay going to buy the new Call of Duty World War II game? I have never in my life played a Call of Duty game, and I don't think I'm about to start now. Andrew writes, is everyone going crazy about Kendrick Lamar's new album? What do you all make of it?
I don't even know who that is.
I don't either, but I saw every single track on his new album is in the top 100.
Really?
Yeah. Every single track. That's insane.
I mean, I've heard of Kendrick Lamar. I can't name a song of his. Or I reckon I'm sure I've heard his songs. But,
I can't imagine it being good at all.
What are his big songs?
I have no idea. That's why I can't I don't follow like new music that much, but if it's if it's good, I'll probably know about it. And
Well, the Billboard charts are also horrible.
yeah.
We have to do on another show. I went through was doing with a friend going through the Billboard charts of like when you were like your birth year
Mm-hmm.
and like how horrible the top 10 is from your birth year, and then picking random years trying to figure out what year would actually have a good top 10.
Mm-hmm.
And like you took a top 10 from like 2003, it's you're like, what the fuck were people listening to?
Yeah, I think pop music's almost always been bad, but I feel like it's reached a new level of shit lately.
The Billboard top 10. We have to do that on a different show. Just like try to figure out guess what year is a bet. Like try to figure out the best year. It was kind of a fun game, actually.
I bet you'd have to go back to like 67.
Let's do it on another. Let's talk about it on another show because it's actually gonna be a long bit because it's kind of a fun like the rip on how bad the music is.
Because back then, pop music was like the Beatles.
Yeah, no, we tried going back. It was also that was hard also. It's actually kind of interesting to see what was the top 10. So we were saying also like, can you imagine like you're born in like what 83 and the big song from your year is Wham! Wake Me Up Before We Go Go. That's like what America was rocking out to when you were born.
Right.
I can't like a song like Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. At some point, it was like the number one hit in America. I feel like that song I can only understand in like the context of it already existing and was a popular song at some point, but not. I can only understand it existing in the past, and that's something that you hear on the radio, not something where like everyone's like, "Oh my God, have you heard Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go Go? That song's amazing." Like people rush to the store, yeah, Wham! Like I gotta buy Wham! Like it's like, are you really that into Wake Me Up Before You Go Go? That's like you're like, wow, you know, I saw God when I heard Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. That's when I knew life was worth living. Sometimes things are going bad at work. I like the girlfriend, she's being a bitch. Whatever. I go on, put my record player on, and just put my headphones and just listen to Wake Me Up Before You Go Go for like hours. That's my meditation. So yeah, that's. But let's do it on a different show because it's a funny bit to talk about.
And Andrew writes, "How awesome are the Beastie Boys?" He saw that bands thing I posted. I remember about 3 minutes of that concert.
I think I remember less.
I feel like that'd be a good concert. I did not see them in concert, but I feel like is that a good?
Brian and I pre-partied way too hard for that one.
I think we were blacked out before we left your apartment.
Yeah, and then we met up with
or something.
then we met up with Leon and drank even more.
Yeah.
Do you regret having been so fucked up for the concert because you probably barely remember the concert?
Yeah,
yes, because that's the only band that I haven't seen that I wanted to see, and now I'll never get to see him again.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
went with a friend. He had like 7th row tickets to go see Pearl Jam, and we ate these like huge amount of like pop brownies. I was so fucked up for the whole show. I barely remember. I barely registered the show as having happened. And I was like, that would have been a pretty cool show to have actually been like not completely fucked up for.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when they finished their rap set and the stage spun around and they were in suits and they started playing their instrumental songs. That's when I like started remembering the show again. So I like missed pretty much all their hits.
Yeah, that's not so fun.
I was on Shrooms for Tool and I remember that whole thing, but I don't remember any of the Beastie Boys.
That was an awesome show that we went to in Boston.
That was amazing.
That's such a good show.
I'd be fine with being on Shrooms for a Tool show. I'm just not. I don't. I can't. I had that. The Prison Sex album. I had that album. I really like them, but I feel like I could not see them right now. Like it was too loud for me. Like that kind of music, I don't think I can get into anymore.
They do like jam versions of all their songs when you see them live, though.
Yeah, they do. They mix up a lot of like. They usually they have like different versions of to do most of their songs, but they haven't played it. They haven't like the last 3 times I've seen them, they've just played the same shit. But
well, they haven't had an album in like 10 years.
Yeah. But they've tweaked some of their songs, they have a couple of cool versions of some of their stuff.
Is the Prison Sex album, is that their best album or their better albums?
I like Lateralis a lot.
Yeah, I like Lateralis probably the best.
Yeah, get Lateralis.
I'm probably not, but I did remember liking. I did have that album on cassette at some point in my life, and I liked that album.
Undertow,
that's what it is. Yeah. That was a pretty good album, actually.
All right. So that's 2 hours.
Yeah. We are an hour longer than Jay wanted to go.
Yep.
What did we learn today, guys? We learned that organic endings are the best.
Guys, the show ended a half hour ago. This has all been an organic closing.
Full
Seriously, I
circle.
just want to talk to you guys. I haven't recorded at all.
The show ended when Jay hung up on us.
Actually, this is not even Jay. This is Brian doing his impression of Jay.
Jay's just typing what he wants me to say.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening. thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. Brinkofsanity3 on Twitter. You can join our Facebook group. You can leave an iTunes review. That would help. We are down to, I think, 4 shirts. You can, well, actually, the site's down, but I'll get that up for next show. And then
Send money.
And
In an envelope to some address we haven't given you.
Send money.
And that's it. So we'll see you guys soon.
Wait, before we end the show, do you think that all the money lying in the Nigerian apartment was just money for Brink of Sanity? They didn't know how to get to us?
They're like, guys.
They kept texting Brink of Sanity 1, and there was no answer.
We have $43 million for you. We love your show, Brink of Sanity 1.
No, it was that guy we messed with for 3 straight episodes. He was legitimately trying to give us that money.
Yeah. Which was an amazing. That was probably my favorite part of the show we've ever done.
Yeah, that was the best. Was emailing him on my way to work, telling him the cops want to talk to me. What should I say?
For those that don't remember or didn't listen, it was we were talking to a what was it, the guy who claimed to be part of the Illuminati and led us into the Illuminati. It's find that episode. You should listen. It was Jay and I had we loved that episode.
3 episodes. Yeah, so there's not going to be a lot of episodes in May. I know Mark took like 4 vacations this year already. I'm actually taking my first vacation in like 5 years.
You're taking a vacation? Go fuck yourself. What's wrong with you, Jay?
First one in 5 years. So
Where you going?
I'm going to Thailand and Japan.
Oh.
Ooh.
So
When do you leave?
I leave on the 15th. I take the CP on the 12th, and then I leave on the 15th, and I get back the 28th.
Okay. So next week, are we gonna do one more next week before, like, is this the last one before your trip?
Yeah, you're gonna do one from Japan? Are you gonna bring your stuff, or?
I have no idea how that's gonna work yet. We could probably squeeze one in next week.
Okay.
I know I have plans next Thursday, so maybe Friday or Saturday.
I mean, I don't have much of a life. I just have kids, so yeah, sure.
No, I can't do Friday or Saturday next week. So
Why? What are you doing, Rye?
I have to go to a work party gambling thing on Friday, and then I have to go take my girlfriend and her friend are going to see Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, and I have to bring them to the casino.
Yeah.
It's apparently they can't drive there.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
See ya.
By the